What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Honey. Today is January 6th. We are 6 days into Jumpstart January, and this review is Married to Medicine, Season 6. It's the part 2 of the reunion. Came on right after Real Housewives of Atlanta, and glad to see it back on Sunday. But before we get into this review, if you are new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe and become a part of the tribe, as well as hit that notification bell. Don't forget to do that thumbs up. It's like saying, hey, Miss Honey. And comment down below, you guys. Let's get into this reunion. Really enjoy this reunion as much. I kind of felt like the ladies were like wilting flowers. The dresses didn't get any better. The eyebrows didn't get any better. The hair, the wigs, the makeup was fading. It didn't get any better. Oily skin was popping through. Like, everybody was looking a little weather beaten in this part too. We did get to talk to the men and see the men a little bit more of Aiden than we wanted to. But yeah, like, the drama is there. The high drama is there. But gosh, the fashions, the beauty phase, it's not great this year for the reunion. We pick up where we left off with Quad and Mariah going back and forth with each other. And it is vicious. It is vicious. Part of me was feeling like Quad and Mariah can work through this. And maybe it's all just a game and for the show, but the way they was cutting their teeth and I was like, oh, I don't know. They kind of really do look like it is over and done with between the two of them, kind of. You know, and Quad making the cocaine accusation, I think is what really forced Aiden's hand. I think that's what really kind of sent Aiden over the top. And with all that snarling and you know, it was his opportunity. It was his opportunity to be the man, you know, to stand up for his wife. And although Mariah seems like she's calming him down, she's trying to calm him down, I kind of think Mariah is behind it. We do get Mariah to admit that she made it up. At the same time, she was saying, I would never lie. I would never say that. I think she's just opted not to bring it up, not to pull it out. Honestly, I do. But, well, that's what I want to believe. But after everything is said and done, it's just starting to seem like we found out Toya didn't see the evidence. She's only referenced it. She hasn't shown anybody. So it's really looking like Mariah's a liar. And it's unfortunate because I really saw her point. You said something about my husband's penis size and all of that. And I said something about your husband. Now, as far as she took it, but for you to say you got facts and receipts, like, it did take it a bit too far, especially since you don't actually have facts and receipts. What made this situation different was how far Mariah took it. So I'm going to admit that, because I know I spent the whole season kind of feeling like even swap can't be no swindle. But now that I found out she actually don't have no receipts and she's admitting to that, it just makes you look bad, Mariah. It makes you look bad, you know, and it definitely validates what the ladies were saying about you being a liar. And I hate that. I hate that, because I want Mariah on the show. I think it's more fun with her on the show. I think she gives good shade. You know, I just don't want her to be amoral. And then we move up to the fact that she was accusing Quad of sleeping with her brother-in-law. And, you know, Andy was trying to say, Quad, why would she do that? Because it would not only just be uncovering your business, but she would be uncovering her sister's business. Like, why would she do that? And Quad insists that she's sponsoring this blog that's coming out. But a lot of ladies felt like if she was going to blow you out, she would have blowed you out earlier on. Like, she wouldn't have waited to blow you out. I don't don't know. I don't know. I'm so confused by all the minutia. At the same time, Mariah said she went over there. Her and her sister. She saw that she had her brother-in-law's shirt on. And she supposedly smelled like the man. Even with that, this was before she even married Gregory. Why would you have her on the show? Why would you have her as your yes sister? Like, it's just all seeming more and more like Mariah is a liar. And I hate that. I really, really do. I hate that. Anyway, who's the most shadiest boots of them all? And it's a tie between Dr. Jackie and Mariah. Greg arrives and the men are talking to him in the back. And I just don't understand why her and Gregory are both wearing the same color. The set's the same color. Andy's wearing the same color. Like, I don't know. It just makes it look more staged to me. The whole situation looked more staged to me. They bring Quad out, you know, from the green room because this is right after the men are talking, and they sit her down. This is after Andy interviews the men, but we're going to talk about that, so I'm not going to jump ahead. Then we see where Quad gets to talk about with the girls. This is before the men's interview. Greg did tell the boys when he first arrived that he felt like he was shortchanged, but he's going to be cool during his private one-on-one interview with Andy and Quad. Then we see Quad talking about how she kept the girls out and why her and Simone not close anymore. After last year's reunion, she said Greg didn't try. If he wasn't changed, he wasn't different, it was worse. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Here's my thing with Quad and Greg. Anyway, okay, so I'm not going to say that right now. But anyway, we get to see where Toya, who continues to be ugly with Contessa, is questioned about how she treated Quad. When she told Quad she couldn't come to any more get-togethers. I was like, well, first of all, it's not up to you to keep her out, number one. Number two, she didn't have a leg to stand on. This was my least favorite part of this segment because once again, Quad can't get a word in edgewise without Toya over talking her. And then you got Heavenly jumping in and kind of taking up for Quad and speaking for Quad. I just want everybody to shut up. Shut up for a minute. Let the girl speak. It's not a conversation if you talking over her. That's like choir rehearsal. You know what I'm saying? We can all sing together, but we can't all talk together. I can't stand there over talking bull crap. Hush. When somebody else is speaking and y'all trying to have dialogue, ain't nobody even direct the question to you. Toya, you just finished talking. Let Quad talk. And Heavenly, be quiet. Quad is a grown woman. She can speak for herself. Now I'm getting sick of these. I think I'm just over it at this point. You know, everything is bugging me. And the fact that they sit there and let Toya say she loved everybody and leave Contessa out, and then Andy, you don't even bring that up. You don't say, well, what? Why didn't you say that to Contessa? Like, y'all being real dismissive at Contessa. Now, when she dragged one of these women one of these seasons, literally drag one of these women, then y'all gonna be wanting to kick her off, and the show's gonna be all about that. I can't stand it when people treat you bad just because you nice and you try to rise above the bull crap. If she was ready to really, really wallow with Toya, Andy would be all over that. He would be questioning her and defending her and asking questions about it. But anyway, when he talked to the men, they all catch up and how Cecil feel and how Curtis feel after last year, since they both was in this really, really rocky place with their marriage at the time. And they both are glad to be in a better place. Cecil thanks Andy for what he did to sort of facilitate he and his wife getting back together by allowing them the time for their friends to come together and encourage them and help them talk it through. Curtis is glad to be in a better place, for sure. He credits Greg and Cecil for helping him the most out of all the guys. They talk about how it is when the men jump in, talking about Scott jumping in between Contessa and Simone on the boat. And Scott said, any one of these men, you see your wife being attacked and you don't jump in, there's a problem. All right. You know, Damon talked about how he felt persecuted a little bit. I could see where he would feel that way, but Mariah had already apologized. It just bothered me that people still wanted to see receipts when she had already apologized. I don't know. I think I'm just frustrated with how contrived things are. It's just weird. Anyway, Mariah admits that, you know, she don't have anything. The folder never comes back up as far as I know. So if there were pictures out there, I'm sure that they would have surfaced. So I see completely Damon's point. And I see to a certain extent Aiden's point when he says that she's pushed in that direction. She's pushed and in that direction, and she pushes. She's pushed and she pushes. So, you know, it is what it is. Then after the men catch up, like I said, they bring Quad and Greg into this space where they are going to talk about their relationship, and it's going to continue on into next week. But we see where Greg is seated. He remains seated there because this is the same space they filmed the men in. So Quad comes in. She got somebody carrying her train, and she comes in, and before she sits down, they freshen her makeup, and she sits down there. She doesn't even look at him. She doesn't say hello. She doesn't address him in any shape, form, or fashion. And Andy begins to speak, and there's a couple of questions about, you know, y'all haven't spoken or talked to each other since, you know, the papers were served and all of this stuff. And she says no. You can tell by the way he looks at her that he wants her to acknowledge him. He wants her to say something. You know, my difficulty with Quad is that I know that Quad went to the Mariah Huq School of Dramatics and Theatrics. I have a hard time trusting Quad. And I mentioned how she came in and they touched up her makeup and how he was looking at her, because I think it's kind of a metaphor for their relationship. I think he had a certain expectation, and I feel like she led him to believe that she could live up to those expectations. But maybe even to Quad's surprise, she changed and she grew in a way that those goals weren't hers anymore. And I think there became a point where she leveled up past him. And as opposed to saying, this isn't working, this isn't great, it was an opportunity. Number one, she on the show, and number two, you know, she doesn't necessarily want to leave the relationship empty-handed. I believe that. I believe that. I believe he kind of considers Quad to be a fraud. I think he feels like she used him, and he feels dismissed. He feels now that he is no longer needed, that he is dismissed. Okay? But it's going to continue next week. You guys tell me what you think about this episode of the second part to this reunion from Married to Medicine Season 6. And we'll talk about it down below. Until next time, honeybees.